Welcome, everybody, to a Delco Nerd Network podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a few friends in the Delaware County area, we get in a basement and we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic, of course, we are going to be having our gut check on the Marvel Cinematic Universe Phase 5. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat. Chris Trio.
Excuse me, Gooch. I'm sorry. I was trying to hold that in. How are you?
I'm doing well.
Are you ready to talk a little Marvel? I feel like it's been a while. When's the last movie we've done? Marvel movie?
I don't know.
Right? What was
Black
the last
Panther?
one? I guess that would have been it.
Yeah.
And then before that would have been She-Hulk. Not in
Yeah.
between that, I don't think.
I was like, was there a show in between that and now?
I feel like there was a real break-off after She-Hulk was the last show that we knew about, right? Major show, at least in that first batch of release. But anywho, we'll get into that. But I think that's true.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Anyway, before we like to get into the podcast, we like to talk about what's been going on, what we're playing, doing, watching, living, breathing, eating, shitting. Trio, what have you been shitting?
I've been shitting the regular, but I've been watching.
How are those poops?
They're good. They're going well. Everything's moving fine. But other than that, I haven't been watching or playing a whole ton. I really kind of feel like I've gotten all the big 2022 movies out of the way. I like looking back, I think I've watched all the ones that I care about. I might watch The Whale. It just looks very sad. I know it's probably amazing.
So I went to go watch The Whale this weekend, and it's only in theaters, and I'm like, fuck. So
Are you gonna go see it?
I don't know.
Yeah. Well, but other than that, movie-wise, I saw you watch Everything Everywhere All at Once. I assume you'll talk about that.
I did, yeah.
I'm very curious to hear what you say. But other than that, I finished The Quarry, which I enjoyed a great deal. Yeah. Thought it was very good. Super massive. So they know what they're doing.
My question to you would be, how do you think it's stacked up against the Dark Pictures anthology line? Because The Quarry, what's funny? It was the Stadia exclusive.
I was gonna
game.
say, yeah.
That's why it's like a separate thing.
Yeah,
the credits
that is very interesting. Yeah, that is so
There's
true.
There's so many people involved in that.
I don't know. Stacked up wise, it definitely feels a bit more meaty because it definitely it feels like more of a longer game. But I don't know. Maybe it's not. I'm trying to think of how long. Little Hope I just finished too.
It is longer. Yes.
Okay.
I can from someone who beat it in one sitting, it is longer.
Longer for sure. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. But no, overall, I think Supermassive does a great job with those games. I think the only miss they've had for me so far is Man of Medan. But other than that,
I think Man of Medan was kind of a miss.
And other than that, Until Dawn was. That classic is amazing. I think The Quarry is so much fun. Just looking back, I finished The Quarry and I was just thinking about all the little choices I made. I'm like, oh man, there must be a pretty significantly different outcome for this person if I chose this instead of that. And there were a few choices I made that I thought, I'm curious. I always try and put myself in the mindset of the person I'm playing as in these games.
The moment.
Yeah, and not try to think about what I know throughout because I feel like it's not cheating, but for that character it almost is.
Sometimes
something
you do know more than the
character would know, so you make a certain choice. But no, great stuff. I really like the whole werewolf aspect. I told you this, I didn't love the transformation. It's an interesting idea.
I kind of liked it. It was just different. It was really when it first happens, when we were all playing down here, we were like, whoa, all of us. We were all simultaneously holy shit.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting idea. I just might have. Maybe I want them to execute a different way. I like the idea of a werewolf transformation being painful and a little bit more horrific than it just felt like it was kind of just
it's like this build up and then
yeah.
For context, when they turn into the werewolf, they literally burst out of their skin and they turn into the werewolf.
Then when they change back, they have their clothes again for some reason.
I think so.
They do. I explained it. I don't know why that happens, but still fun stuff. And then I platinum Sifu, which I know I talked about Sifu on this. Thank you.
Platinum number what, Trio?
Yeah, maybe I think 11 total, but 2 I think I have a double up on Ghost and Spider-Man. So
tell me what number platinum it is. It doesn't matter.
No, I know, but I think those kind of are technically cheating.
It doesn't matter.
But I think 11 or so. I'd have to check for a specific number.
Good for you.
Other than that, not a whole ton. I've still been watching Futurama, which has been a lot of fun to just kind of go through again.
I don't think you've ever talked about that.
Have I not? Mm-mm. Oh, I don't know if
First time I'm hearing it.
So I've been watching that with my lady. For some reason, I don't know why. I've just been I always really enjoy that show growing up.
Yeah,
I want to go back
been
to
good.
it. And it is funny. It's a super dry humor show.
I've been
it works so well.
I've been watching lately on the Delco Nerds TikTok, which you can follow right now since it's my account. And I use it. I've been getting a lot of King of the Hill clips. And I'm like, I always liked King of the Hill, like as a 12,
Sure.
13, 14-year-old. And guess what other show I've been getting TikToks of, and it like kind of sucked me in. You'll never guess this.
I don't know.
Do you know what Bluey is?
Bluey?
Yeah.
No.
It is a Australian kids show, and Bluey is like a dog,
Interesting.
and it has fucking sucked me in. This kids show is fantastic. I am so
That's interesting.
I'm like, I don't know how it started appearing on my TikTok feed, but I was like watching. I'm like, this is really good,
Dude, there was another.
This is really good.
Is it just so? What is it, like a cartoon or? Is
Yeah,
it like,
it's a cartoon,
Okay.
and it's a kids show,
Okay, yeah.
but they're all Australian,
Oh.
and they
Oh,
sound really genuinely Australian.
Yeah,
like
they're not over the top,
not
and
caricatures
yeah.
of Australian people, like literal
Actual Australian people, yeah.
And I think the kids,
They're not like good eye, mate. Like what's
the
going
kid
on?
characters are, I think, children. It kind of seems like they are, but like apparently, like I saw somebody tweeted about it, and they. And I've seen some of the episodes, like apparently they handle like pretty heavy topics, and I've seen some clips of this, and I'm like, this show is awesome. It's 7 minutes, 7-minute episodes. And
Interesting.
I don't know where it airs, if it's on YouTube or what goes on, but I'm like, this is cool. I don't
have
know.
to look into it.
I am into this.
Yeah,
like,
I'll check it out.
Kids show for some reason.
I'll check out some videos. But there was another thing I saw a video for online, or like a TikTok about. It was a show, an AMC show. Kevin Can Fuck Himself. Have you heard of this?
Excuse me.
Kevin Can Fuck Himself is what it's called.
I'm curious. Were the ads rolling after The Walking Dead finished? Because if they
I don't know.
weren't,
So
if
I
they
think it
did, I would have
started-
knew about it.
I think it started in 2020,
Kevin Can Fuck
2021.
Himself?
So it's this
Maybe I do want to know what
It's an
it is.
interesting concept. It's like it's pitched as like a regular sitcom with that one style camera, and it's super like cheery lighting, and everything's like everything's super,
Seinfeld.
very much so.
Okay.
But whenever it focuses, so it's about this family. Kevin's kind of the main character, but then there's his wife, who whenever it switches to her, it's like it switches from that sitcom style, like one camera, to like an AMC dark and gritty, like drama moment. So like, and it's all about how like this guy Kevin is acting like a sitcom dad doing all these crazy schemes, and whenever like from shot to shot within a scene, when Kevin comes in, it'll be all cheery and stuff, and then he leaves and it cuts back to her, and it's like AMC dark, like Better Call Saul.
It kind of reminds
style
me
looking.
of like I want to say like Pleasantville or like WandaVision.
Yeah,
where,
yeah,
like,
it's
like the
it's
guys of
mixing
something,
these
but
two different genres, and
Yeah.
I watched a clip. I want to watch it. It looks so interesting.
Interesting.
I think it's finishing up with season 2 pretty soon, and that's going to be it. But
okay.
it's a very different
gonna
idea,
say,
and it's AMC. So.
AMC needs some hits.
No, they do.
Because
So
now that Better Call Saul is over, The Walking Dead Prime is done.
they have another Odenkirk show coming out too, right?
I think they do.
He's filming
yes.
something.
Yeah,
right,
they are. He is doing something for AMC. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't think we'll ever get to the height AMC was with Breaking Bad and Mad Men.
I mean, it changed
and,
television, for
Walking
sure.
Dead. Yeah, but because they're in a really weird place.
They are.
They're like, premium cable channel, but like they're not like doing as hot as they were.
Sure.
And like, like they have AMC Plus. It's like, okay, like how do you get people to go like you could watch episodes of The Walking Dead a week early. I'm like, I wonder who was like actually doing that.
Yeah, that would be
know?
interesting. I don't know.
It kind of like takes you out of like the zeitgeist when everyone's watching the episode. Like
a day
I said,
on the day.
I feel like I want to do a podcast about getting shows to air again at Sunday at 9 p.m. because that time slot is great.
Well,
know?
and
The
even
Last
just
of
once
Us
a
is
week,
in that
just
right now.
getting your like having a show to get like people together for to watch is so nice. Like just
Right.
a weekly release in general has, I feel like, very much come back into the regular. Whereas, I mean, for a while, Netflix and everything was first season of The Boys was all released at once, and now they do that one by one. So it makes sense. But what have you been playing, watching, doing, shitting?
That's a good question. I've been watching a lot. One of those things was Harley Quinn season 3. Finished it.
I actually just started watching that too. I forgot.
Yeah. So you're in season 3.
I'm on season 1. I'm watching it with my lady too, because I watched the first half of season 1 and then just fell off.
Yeah, season 3 is really good. So I guess I won't talk about it.
You can tell, I'm not too
much.
concerned about spoilers, but
So
I saw the Valentine's Day special coming up.
yeah,
and
they're doing something like that.
stuff. I love that they're committing to the Harley Poison Ivy romance for sure.
Yeah,
it seems like they are.
So, the season 3 kind of like Harley is starting to become an anti-hero rather than a villain.
Sure.
And I kind of like it.
Okay. Yeah.
Like because I was thinking about it, I'm like, when have we seen Harley Quinn really go the anti-hero route? And I'm like, it's Injustice.
And Justice for sure.
But she goes like full hero
Yeah.
in that. But it's like it's hard to like compare
different,
that.
yeah,
It's
it's
such
very-
a different timeline.
yeah.
But I'm like, Harley Quinn, I feel like is really, as a character, has been geared not so much as the villain anymore, but more as like this anti-hero character. So
Well,
that's
someone
kind
used
of
almost by the Joker, and someone who's kind of broken free of that,
right
that
after
clutches. Yeah.
the Joker beginning. It's like, either she's on her own and she's kind of coming into her own and realizing that she doesn't really
Yeah.
like.
I wonder if they'd
being
ever bring
bad.
in Punchline to like. I know she's a relatively new character, but I think she seems to have like stuck around for sure.
Yeah, she seems like to be like what Harley was not supposed to be.
but what she was before,
Like the Harley taken to the full degree of villainy.
she's fully
right,
absolutely
right. And I'm not.
She's fully
Harley
obsessed.
was never like a full villain, like in the animated series.
She started as a good person. She did.
But
to
she's
a degree,
not
yeah.
like, I don't know, like she goes along with whatever the Joker does, but like she's not.
Seems to have a line.
She's not like evil.
For sure.
She's not like evil. I don't
She
think-
seems more not even manipulated, but
Yeah, absolutely.
to a degree.
She is
manipulated, and then she realizes that. But
So the Last of Us show we've been
Oh, duh,
watching,
yeah,
and of
of
course
course.
we're gonna
Yeah.
watch that. But I've also been playing Part 1 remake alongside of it.
how's that been?
And it's been a very cool experience. So literally, okay, so like episode 1, that finishes, and I put the game right in, and I start playing from where the show starts
To where it ends.
where that episode finishes. And it's been like a really cool experience, like literally like comparing them like 1 to 1.
Well, dude, it's
And
so
to see like the first episode like really like heavy straight from the game. And then episode 2, things diverge a little bit. It's the same, but it's different because you have to account for these gameplay segments and stuff like that, and they're kind of like cut out. And
this
not
is
really.
a very interesting case study in the way of like, I get things are adapted from mediums all the time,
but
like this is
especially
such
books, right?
Yeah, books and even comics, all that stuff. But like this visual of a medium taking it from video games and almost adapting it seemingly 1 to 1 in the show,
Which is-
to a degree.
from our speaking to Halo, clearly adapting 1 for 1 is the better move.
No, yeah, I think so too. And well, actually, that's not true. Halo did fine. It's getting a second season. So
Yeah, but like
I know what you're
Come on, the discourse.
Sure.
That podcast, go watch
I
it.
agree.
We were
but-
not happy.
But you can't say that it failed. That's the only thing I'm going to say about that.
I did not.
No, that's
But yes,
you're
you're
right.
right.
I'm not saying. I'm
You're
saying
right.
in general more
Right,
for people.
But you're correct.
That still is doing it. But I don't know. Like I am really having this tough time with getting super involved because I know exactly where it's going with these characters so much so. Whereas like I don't know. I still think Sonic will forever be the most impressive video game adaptation to me as of now. Just because you've taken something that's so broad and condensed it down to something that people can care about. Whereas The Last of Us, that's an amazing schematic for a show already. And as long as you aren't an idiot and take that 1 for 1, yeah, these things can work very well. It's amazing. But I don't know, even like with this, I'm just not as interested in watching it as like a Dune, which I've read
Really?
the book. And I know what's coming, but I haven't seen it visually represent. I don't know. It's interesting. I'm gonna still enjoy it, and I still have liked it a lot. I mean, Pedro Pascal's great. The set design's great.
Yeah,
the clickers look awesome.
I'm excited
I
to
can't
do
complain.
our podcast on it when we eventually get there.
Yeah,
'cause it's
absolutely. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean the show is it's got a second season, which is interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't surprise me at this
No,
point.
it's
with
not
how well-
surprising,
yeah.
but now that it's like, wow, okay, we're doing part 2.
Yeah.
One of the most divisive games ever released.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's been cool. It's been very popular
gameplay will hold
with
it up, though.
gamers
No.
and non-gamers.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Listen, it's an interesting topic. It obviously did something amazing in video games. It's a great story. They have an amazing schematic there, like I said. Don't fuck it up. And they don't seem to be.
I've also been playing Sly Cooper, A Thieves in Time. This is the 4th Sly game that came out on PS3, made by Sanzaru. Last time I talked about Sly, have you played Sly Cooper before?
When I was very young.
Okay.
I haven't played it as an adult. Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah. So it's funny playing a sequel to like a franchise from our childhood. I think this came out in like 2011.
Oh, really? I didn't realize
2012.
that.
Yeah. So Sanzaru made the collection, and then they did this. And it makes sense why they didn't make another, because this game, it's a shame. It's so like the story is like Sly's going back in time and like something is happening to his ancestors, and the Thievius Raccoonus is like
I
disappearing.
vaguely remember this. Yes. Okay.
So like he has to go back in time to see what's going on, and
Right.
he partners up with his ancestors.
So you can just buy those straight on PlayStation?
No, this is a stream. This is streaming through PSN. Yeah, and this game, holy shit! I had a lot of issues streaming, and
Really?
I don't know if it's my internet or it's the service, because I'm like
How can
speed
you not
testing.
just buy that and
I don't know,
download
dude.
it?
I don't know.
Like, what are we doing, Sony?
This
But, yeah,
is
that's insane.
This
That's
is
insane.
what I was saying.
Yeah,
from the beginning.
I think that's been a major
Great,
issue that
I can
most people-
stream it, but when my stream it like lags up and freezes and like it needs to like readjust, and then when it like detects you like have a really bad connection for a long enough time, it just shuts it down.
What did they put in a PlayStation 3? What is so
The cell
hard?
processor.
So that's what it is. So it just makes it so like I would love to have like a technical person come on and really talk to us about this.
I'm
'cause
sure
I
there's
really-
videos about
There,
it.
you're right.
The
It's
cell
just-
processor really just made developing for the
You'd think-
PS3 really difficult.
And I feel like I've heard them talk about this even on Sacred Symbols. Like, you think they just really kind of put in the time to just figure it out,
Right.
Like just
you
fit,
would you would think
like
that.
that. Yeah, just
You would
after
think it'd be
just,
a valuable
like,
investment
to just get figured out.
make those Resistance, Infamous, Metal Gear Solid 4, all these titles that were PS3 classics,
That are just stranded.
to get them accessible.
Yeah.
No.
Accessible in a way that's not me streaming it over my internet either. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It is mind blowing. But anything else, Gooch?
Yeah, I do have a few other things.
Excellent.
So I'm not sure how far you got in Stardew, but I finished the community center.
I did. Yeah. I finished also
Took
the
me-
movie theater too.
There's a movie theater?
Oh.
It's not. I don't care.
No, yeah, so I can't
like,
remember. So
oh.
it's the what did you so you finished the community center, so that
Yeah,
means
I'm on year 3.
what's a so
Spring.
the March shuts down. And then that
Yeah,
becomes so,
Joja's done. We
and then
kicked
that
those
becomes
fuckers out.
the movie theater I
in
think.
time.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think if I'm remembering correctly, the only thing I'm really missing in Stardew are like all the towers and stuff, and I need to get to like the lower dungeon in the desert.
So I know you. I know what kind of gamer you are. Did you look this up?
What?
A lot of this shit up?
A few of them, yes,
'cause in the
but most of
game,
it I got.
You know, it kind of like it's like have fun.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And like figure it out. And there's not
There's,
really
like,
a lot
certain
of
things,
guidance.
especially-
and I kind of like that.
No, I think for the community center, I didn't have to. It was the fish that I had to look up definitely because those were
the
certain
legendary
seasons.
fish. Yeah.
You know, a few things here and there, but for the most part, I felt like I was getting things.
And
through
for
it.
reference, I've been looking shit up.
Yeah, no, I know. I
I think it's
mostly
kind of hard not to.
exactly. I think there are a few like things where you're like, okay, I know. Like you learn throughout, planting through the different seasons. You're like, oh, I get the melon during this season and this during this, so I got to make sure when I'm farming I get that. But no, you got to get a certain type of wine for the movie theater that you need to like unlock I don't even know what the word would be, like your own vineyard that's basically in your basement that like you
Yes, I'm on the last house upgrade.
yeah, so I think I have
I'm not
everything.
married, but I have like.
I was gonna
know,
say, are you courting anyone?
I'm either going towards Penny, or I think what's her name, Leah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I went with the gamer girl, Abigail. I think the purple hair was that her name.
Dude, she sucks.
You fucking suck, man. Actually, you know what? I'm divorcing her when I get home. No,
But Penny's kind of like depressed all the time.
that's what. Yeah,
And then I like how like Kent comes home and he's like a fucking like
He's a dude.
What war is going on
know,
in this
yeah.
universe? I'm like, what is going on? He has PTSD. Like I went to their house for dinner and
Yeah.
she's making like popcorn and it like sets off his
It's
like
so
fucking
cool. Yeah.
war trauma. I'm like,
dude. There's
who are
so
we
many
fighting?
little things. Yeah, I'm close to like fully liked by every villager too. I've been working with certain ones are easy because you just get things all the time that you can handle them that they love.
Oh, dude, the community center boosted like everyone. I wasn't at 5 up to 5,
Yeah.
and I got like a bunch of like mail about it.
Yeah, and then like what's her name? Like certain people you can just give you give a beer to what's the old woman
Pam.
who runs the bus. Do you have the bus yet?
Yeah, I got the
Yeah,
bus.
yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, I had to. So one of the things I've been doing is the skull caverns, and I'm like, why do I suck at this? And I'm like, oh, I needed to buy like one sword upgrade from the like Adventurers Guild, and I got that. And
What are
I've
your
been-
tools at?
I just got my first pickaxe to Iridium finally because I haven't been in the
That's really
in the
good.
skull
I would
caverns,
say-
and I'm like, where do I get Iridium?
The hoes are really good too. That's a good one because just for planting.
I'm gonna get them all.
No, absolutely. I guess for like which ones to get first. Yeah, I think I got the pickaxe and I got the hoe. And also the water barrel is very helpful. But my farm's set up so now everything's just taken care of with it.
Dude, so in winter, I literally like fucking destroyed my whole farm and I rebuilt it. Now I'm like, I got the greenhouse going,
dude,
and I moved the greenhouse.
You're making me want to play Stardew Valley.
I got everything
right
automated, and I'm like, the only thing I find annoying is like, dude, I if I have to fucking tap every fucking animal I have on the ass to make sure they like me every day, I'm like so annoyed.
It is annoying.
It's very annoying.
Everyone's, some of them I've kind of given up on. Most of them I'm pretty good with.
Do you have a void chicken in your farm?
I do. Yeah. I have a void, and I have a. Do you have a lizard or a dinosaur?
No, I know you can get.
You just got to get a dinosaur egg and then put it, because those you'll need for, I think, the movie theater. I can't. You need a dinosaur egg for something. So
great,
definitely. So get one and put one in your chicken coop, because then you just get one every once in a while. So
yeah,
it's really good.
Yeah, Stardew, slowly treading towards that 100%, because like you really
I can't recommend that game enough.
Yeah, I really like it. It's fun. It's very chill and cozy.
It is. You can throw on a podcast and just do whatever you want.
Earlier you were talking about movies, so in the last 2 weeks I watched 3 like Oscar movies.
All right.
I finally got around to watching Shape of Water. That's Guillermo del Toro movie with Doug Jones.
That's funny. I never did see that. I've been meaning to check.
Michael Shannon does like a fucking Zod yell in it. I'm like, oh. But good movie. I don't think I liked it as much as I thought I was going to.
Any fish sex?
There is 2 fish sex scenes.
Good.
Yeah,
that's what I'm there for.
Yeah, that's what I was there for as well.
Gotcha.
But yeah, I like the actress that played the Eliza. She's the mute girl. And yeah, I like the cast. Very good.
Awesome.
The dad from Step Brothers is in it, and he's like a closeted gay artist. And
I do remember hearing
cool.
There's a lot. Yeah, I remember hearing there is a lot. It's like someone's like a communist too, and like it's a lot, or like a Russian or something.
It's during the Cold War.
Yeah, so there's a lot
of the Red Scare is kind of at a height.
At a height. No, I've heard. I mean, dude, Guillermo del Toro. I think I said I watched Pinocchio. I
gotta get around to Pinocchio, man.
Thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's gotta be next on the list.
Yeah.
I also watched Banshee of Inisherin.
It's on my list. How'd you like it?
Dude, I had no idea what I was walking into with this movie. I had no idea what it was about besides reading the description right on the HBO Max page. Fucking fantastic.
I've heard nothing but good
I feel
things.
like I had a little bit of something like this has kind of happened to me before. And I'm not, do you know what it's about?
Somewhat like they're friends and they have a falling out and then yeah.
So it's not that they have a falling out, but like
one of them just doesn't want to hang out with him anymore. Yeah.
No reason.
Yeah.
I don't like you anymore. And he like can't handle it. He doesn't get
like,
it.
What the fuck?
And it's like the movie's really the rest of the movie is him trying to like understand why.
I feel like we're in a bit of a Farrell-essence, a Colin Farrell-essence. I don't know why. I've been really...
Did it start with the Batman?
With the Batman for sure, but also he's been in a few other things. I kind of want to watch, I think it's called The Lobster on HBO or something. It's set in a universe where you have to fall in love or else you turn into an animal.
Okay.
It's very odd and seems like
Would I be an animal at this point?
Maybe. Yeah, I think by the time you're 25, you have to find love.
Oh, I'd be fucked.
I would have been fucked too. I would have been.
Damn.
Yeah.
What kind of animal would you be?
You can choose. Apparently, he wants to become a lobster if he doesn't, because his
you can
wife.
Be any animal?
Yeah, I think his wife dies, and you go to like a place, and you have to find another person to fall in love with in like 30 days, or else you turn into an animal.
So like, what happens when you become an animal? Like, where do you go?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't gotten that far. I need to watch it. I just watched the trailer. I'm very curious.
Yeah, but definitely check out Banshees of Inisherin. Also, really beautiful location.
It's in Ireland.
Inisherin is a fake place in Ireland, but yes, it is.
It's set. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then the last thing I watched, which you mentioned earlier, everything, everywhere, all at once. Interesting movie.
Yeah, I wasn't as in love with it as everyone else.
I don't like the first act at all, when it's like kind of explaining everything to you. But once it gets into its plate, I think it's pretty good. Like I like the end and how it ends
for sure.
But like I was kind of like, I found myself very uninterested in the beginning because like I don't really care about this. What
his family's going through?
No, not the family. I don't really care about like this like explanation of like this universe.
Yeah, it kind of flew over my head a little bit.
Once
too.
we got past it and we were just like, they were like, okay, like this is how you verse jump and like how you get abilities. I'm like, okay, I get it now. Yeah. Now they're just into it, and I'm like, okay, I'm having much more fun with
I do think it stepped over the proverbial line a tiny bit for me a few times, just with like, I don't know, the hot dog fingers were kind of
the
funny.
rocks.
And then also the everything bagel that is the entire universe that it's made out of or
Everything on it,
something.
everything
yeah,
bagel.
oh, yeah.
I thought it was pretty funny.
It was funny for sure. I just was like, all right. Okay.
And
But,
that
yeah.
was Cassandra Cain from Birds of Prey.
Oh, I did not know that.
As the Joy.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, that's where she's from. I'm like, oh shit, Birds of Prey.
Yeah, I enjoyed that for sure. I definitely wasn't as in love with it as everyone else. I don't think.
I wouldn't be like, holy fuck, I gotta watch it again. Like, I liked it. It like
I would recommend checking it out at the very least.
I enjoyed like the Asian family dynamic
for sure.
And like how I liked how like it could have focused on the daughter, but I like how it focused on the mom.
Yeah,
Michelle Yeoh,
great actor.
great fucking job, and of course, Short Round himself. Don't know how to say his name. I don't want to butcher it.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, he's great.
I don't want to say
And
it.
he very like I don't know.
No, he's good.
Something
He was
about
good.
him in that role really well.
It's nice to see him kind of blow
And then
up
the
again.
grandpa was like I've seen he's
in everything.
Yeah, he's that character
he's a very
actor.
famous. Have you ever seen Balls of Fury? It's one of my favorite movies.
Is he
he's
in that?
He plays like the. Have you seen it? Do you know what it's about at all?
Yeah, no, I do know what it's about.
So he plays like his ping pong master. It's so funny. One of my favorite like cult hits out there for sure. And I mean Christopher Walken's in it. Oh my god, so funny. Also, was there anything else?
No, that's it actually.
We've been also playing, of course, Dead Space, which we'll talk about in the coming weeks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I don't want to give too much. It looks amazing. It plays amazing. I love it so much.
Yeah, Hogwarts Legacy coming up, and
Yeah,
then,
that's not this
Atomic
Tuesday, but
Heart,
next
I
Tuesday.
pre-ordered that for Xbox.
I'm deciding whether or not I'm just going to play that on Game Pass. If I like the first couple hours, I'll buy it,
Okay,
and then I'll buy it physically.
support the Russian government.
Support those fucks.
Yeah,
Not the Russian people. The Russian people are great. Love you guys. That's it.
this
right?
war will be over soon enough.
Hopefully. Let's move on, Goosh. What are we here to discuss?
So we were, if Mr. James Gunn decided to release that DC slate, we would be talking about that, but
Yeah.
he did not. So we had to
Pivot a little
bit
to the other side of the fence.
The other side of the fence. Marvel is approaching Phase 5. Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania will kick off the 5th phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and we decided, why don't we do a little gut check about where we are with that? We've never really talked about a phase sort of going into it. We know, obviously, the plan.
Do you have a full list by chance?
Yeah,
of
I'm like,
Phase
why don't
5?
I just go over it?
Yeah.
So Phase 5 will be Antman and the Wasp: Quantumania, Secret Invasion, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, The Marvels, Echo, Loki Season 2, and this is in order. Blade, Ironheart, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Daredevil, Born Again, Captain America, New World Order, and last, but certainly not least, Thunderbolts.
How many properties is that? Sorry,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Okay,
And
and there
there-
was about how much? There was like 18 or something things in Phase 4, right?
I don't know.
And
You wanna
insane.
count that?
I was just trying to, at least. I mean, more than that, definitely. So I'm just thinking off the top of my head, and who knows? We could get more before Phase 5 comes to an end.
Yeah,
because I know
that
there's
seems like to be a
supposedly-
popular trend in Phase 4 when we were just in like, what if?
Yeah.
Season 2 is probably going to be in here
there somewhere, for sure.
But
The-
it wasn't on.
You said the Marvels, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
So we're gonna say something.
No.
So I was gonna say, before we get into talking about Phase 5, where were you standing with Phase 4 trio? We reviewed pretty much everything in Phase 4. We can go look at all those reviews, watch all those reviews right
Please
now.
do. Yes. Yeah.
How do you feel now that we're kind of removed from it? We're post every movie, every show, and you're thinking about it. How'd you like Phase 4? Because it's been pretty controversial, it seems.
Yeah, looking back, it's funny we were talking about this. I think I just was pulling up the list. That's why I was on my phone.
Yeah.
Looking back, I enjoyed most of it. I think. I think that they did a fantastic job with most of their shows and movies. They're not without their faults, of course. Not everything is my cup of tea. But I feel like the characters that they wanted to portray, they did so in a meaningful way and did a pretty good job. There are definitely some things I would have liked to change. I would have liked to seen Moon Knight as a movie, I think. I would have preferred, actually, I think, Falcon and the Winter Soldier as a movie as well. There's a few changes I definitely would have made story-wise, but overall, I'd say I'd want to look at these and truly go through and be like, well, maybe while you're talking, be like, how many of these do I like? But I think it was a 90% success rate for me. And even with something like a She-Hulk, I didn't love, but that is what that character is, and that is what that show should be, and it's not for me. And that's fine, and I think that's part of comic books. I'm not going to read every single run of every character. I don't love every character. I don't really care about every character. That might be something that maybe people don't like, considering how connected this universe has been and how kind of meaningful every show and movie is. I mean, how much of Phase 1 would you say you'd have to watch Infinity War and Endgame?
Of Phase 1?
Of like I guess Phase 1 and 2. I guess I would say. I guess that would have to be Phase 1 and 2. I always get them all mixed up.
I would say all of it.
You think all of it? Because I definitely don't think so. I think you'd probably need to watch.
Do you have to watch The Incredible Hulk? Probably not.
Like the Avengers, like Captain America 1, yes. But going through, you don't necessarily need all of it. You can get the important bits. But that's my long-winded way of saying Gooch. I enjoyed it, I think, for the most part. What about you?
Yeah, I'm definitely a little more negative on it than you are, a little more critical as well. I think, like, as we approach the end of Phase 4, I was kind of in the opinion of it has been all over the place. There's really been no tonal or connective thread, and I don't want to hear that Kang is the connected thread. He's only in one thing.
It's multiverse. That's the connective thread.
But multiverse, like I
think it's okay. I'll let you get after this, but I think it's had just as much like connective tissue as like the first phase of Marvel.
How is Black Widow have anything to do with the multiverse?
Oh no, I agree with you.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's not in every movie.
But that's like, how it is in Phase 1 too. Like Thanos and everything doesn't pop up in.
No. But Phase 1 is how each character leads into the next one, culminating in the Avengers. Phase 1 is pretty neat and tidy, and it doesn't obviously.
But they're not like directly connected to each other in the way of like you need to watch Captain America before Thor or something like that. Like you can. I actually think you can even watch Avengers like by itself and be fine. But I'm sorry, I'm interrupting. Please continue your overall thoughts.
So we had a lot of highs. Loki season 1, I think, was a good high, and for everyone, I think everyone enjoyed Loki season 1. But after that, I feel like Eternals hit or miss. Black Widow, people seem to be down on for the most part. She-Hulk, probably the most like a divisive Marvel product that's like ever been released. People either love that or hate it, and everyone's got opinions about it. Then you have Miss Marvel, a little more middling. I think some people enjoy it. Some people are like, okay, and that's it. Like nobody's like, I don't think anyone was in love with Miss Marvel. I don't think anyone fucking hated Miss Marvel. And then you have Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think great ending, but like, you know, we weren't talking about that like we were WandaVision, especially in the beginning, right? Like I think WandaVision was also another big hit. And like I wish there were just more connective threads, not even of Kang and shit like that, but of like what's going on with Avengers. I hate how I don't know that question all the time. What is going on with the cast of characters that we give a shit about? Why don't we know if Sword and S.H.I.E.L.D. are like these official government agencies now? I guess we know S.W.O.R.D. is, but like what's S.H.I.E.L.D. doing? Why don't we know what's going on with the Avengers? Who's leading them right now? What's going on? Oh, like Falcon and Bucky are like, you know, doing their own thing, but like what's everyone else doing? We're going to get some answers with Antman. He seems the only one to be like actually like famous from, you know, his Avengers time in the Avengers, right? And like everyone else just seems to be gone, dead, or doesn't seem to care. But why is Scott Lang the only one who seems to be like a celebrity now because of it? Whereas like obviously Tony Stark was before, but he's dead.
But like who else, I guess, like where else would you see, like people know who Hawkeye is. People know who, I mean, we see like,
but like why, like
people know like whenever they're in these situations where they're around people do like, I'm sorry, continue.
Like I you know, I guess a choice of like, okay, like I guess Hawkeye's living him a little more humbly than Scott Lang is. But you still think these people would be connected via the Avengers, or they would be talking to each other. At least some of them are.
But every time,
like, where was everyone for Wanda? Why was Wanda just kind of like on her own? It's a question that's never answered. I mean, like, she has friends.
But that's the problem of comic books, is what you're explaining.
I guess.
I think I genuinely think that that's the issue of like every comic book you read, you're like, or not. I'm saying you in the euphemistic sense. Why isn't this person helping? What's going on here? I don't really feel like I get lost in that stuff as much. I don't feel I just don't think about it as much, and it doesn't really occur to me. It's not even that I should, because I'm not going to say the famous, you shouldn't think about it too much, Gooch, because I get it. But I don't know. I'm not really concerned about specifically what the Avengers are up to and what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Why not?
Because I'm here to watch Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I don't care about the event. Like, I'm here to watch Doctor Strange. I'm here to watch WandaVision. I'm here to watch Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
But you're invested in the universe. Why?
I know, I want what's on my plate in front of me. Like, you know me, I've been about this all the time. Like, I don't need these super heavy connections between each movie, and I don't feel like a lot of these movies did that before. I think it was more of like there was a thing here and there, but I do think one of the major issues is with Marvel right now is that they don't eat what's on their plate and they don't settle on what's going on. I didn't like Black Panther a lot because I felt like we had to have this whole side plot to set up the Thunderbolts and stuff like that. And even with Riri Williams,
that's actually been a connective thread through all of Phase 4.
And Riri Williams showing up to just kind of give her introduction, like
to be on a show.
And
right.
Listen, I don't know. I liked how individualistic these seasons and shows were, in that we don't have these insanely ham-fisted like kind of connective threads that. I think it's just as connected as it was back in like a Phase 1. And then when you get to Phase 2, it obviously starts to coalesce more because we're heading towards Infinity War.
Yeah,
and Thanos is presenting himself as more of an issue. I think we're going to start seeing that now with Kang in Antman. And we're going to get him more as like, get more of his motivation and what's going on behind the scenes. I don't know. I really don't dislike this less connectiveness that you are describing, and I think that might just be a taste thing. You know, it's depending on what we're there for. And I think they've done a good job for the most part of giving me an entertaining show and or film that represents what the character is. Even with something like She-Hulk, that can be divisive, but that means people didn't like that character, and you can, and I think you can dislike the way some of the people were written in that show and the dialogue, and think that it's not good from that point of view. But to say that that doesn't perfectly represent what She-Hulk is would be a lie.
I don't think that's what people are saying either, and I'm not saying that's what people are saying.
Yeah.
I think the issue is it's too all over. And I'm not saying you're saying it needs to be this heavy-fisted connection throughout the whole thing.
Sure.
It's never really done that. But I think now more than ever, there is a big established universe, and they need to act like there is.
I do agree with you on the fact of like something like that WandaVision thing happening.
Where's
like someone
anyone? Anyone.
All right, so Thor's off-world, fine. I'm just trying to go through them in my head.
Right, no.
Okay, maybe Falcon and the Winter Soldier. They should probably show up, I would assume.
Yeah.
Doctor Strange.
Hawkeye?
I think really the number one thing there is Doctor Strange for me. Because that's the guy you'd be like, this is like some weird...
Right, they're the magic users of the Avengers. They should be in contact.
And I get it. They don't want to bring him... there's this tough balance of... You don't want to bring something at the end that distracts everyone from the main point of the show.
Right, the cameo.
Like, oh, Doctor Strange is here and he's doing magic. Like, there needs to be a way to slot him in that makes sense, that also kind of establishes in that world why he wouldn't be there, why he wouldn't interfere if he wasn't going to be there. I don't... That's one of the issues of an interconnected universe. And even, I think, comic books more generally, is you start to run into that issue of, well, where is everyone else in the universe? Why is this only you got Batman, which is always his thing, is like, Gotham's my place. Like, that's kind of his reasoning. You can always kind of point to it.
There's no other superheroes
no one calls in
that aren't involved with Batman.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's like, don't Justice League, stay the fuck out. There are kind of these more established things, but I would like some more reasoning behind certain things like that. And even, at the end of Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi, whatever.
I get, fuck me.
Yeah.
You kind of get that scene at the end with Captain Marvel and Bruce, and it's like, okay, here's that kind of that felt like very classic end pincher Marvel movie. Here's the connection.
If
to what else is
anything,
going
that
on.
feels like more connective than we realize. Like, I think that's going to connect into the Quantumania.
No, for sure. Yeah, and I'm hopeful, man. Quantumania, I think it looks great.
So. Let's jump into it.
Let's
talk about Phase 5. We're gonna go property by property, go through and talk about it. Obviously, with these not the bigger ones, but the ones that are coming up in soon we have more details about.
Sure.
Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. It's releasing February 17th, 2023. We're just a few weeks away. Peyton Reed is back to directing. He directed Ant-Man 1 and Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I think if this does well, he's going to direct Fantastic Four. He was supposed to direct a Fantastic Four movie back in the early 2000s, like before the original. But I'm excited, man. I mean, I love me some Paul Rudd. First off, he's always great. Whenever I see him in, it's always a fun time. I'm hopeful that this is going to be something distinct and interesting in the way of world building, and it's this, the Quantumania is somewhere visually interesting to be, and there's kind of stuff going on that makes it feel like it's a real place. One thing I hate when you go to like a new spot and you're kind of like, where do these people, like with Teo Khan in Black Panther, you're like, what do these people like do for fun? Like, it's just this kind of stone city. You see them playing some ball, but then you're like, well, how do people live here? This doesn't feel like a lived in place. I want that to get that feeling in Ant-Man. I feel like James Gunn captures that very well within like the Guardians movies and things like that, establishing this new corner of the MCU, which, we've seen a couple times. The what is it called? The Quantumverse or the
Quantumverse
we've seen it a couple times, but now we really kind of get to see it. And Kang, I think Jonathan Majors is a fucking amazing actor, and I think he can do something very cool and be very menacing. So I'm hopeful. I am.
Yeah, I think Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is probably going to be the biggest film since Endgame.
I hope so. I do.
Yeah. I hope it is.
Yeah.
I'm really looking like we need a good villain again. And I mean, Marvel doesn't have many of them.
No, they don't.
Does not have many of them.
You can count them on one hand.
Yeah, literally. So Kang being on full force, not what's his name in
It's his actual. He's not a Richards. Why did I think that?
No, he is Nathaniel Richards. But what's his?
He is Nathaniel Richards, and
I think that's what he's supposed to be.
I guess possibly slight spoiler. I doubt it though.
He Who Remains. Yeah. That's his name.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we get like a little introduction, a little taste, but this is where we're going to get the full introduction to Kang the Conqueror, who he is, what he's about.
Also that suit though, it's practical. It looks so good. A lot of it.
Are the shoulders practical?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think so. I saw like an off camera.
That those effects at the end of that trailer did not.
I think not in every scene, but there was one shot where like they shared a behind the scenes photo and it looked like his full costume.
Okay, good.
So,
so we're getting our introduction to the Kang Dynasty and the Kang saga, as well as Secret Wars. We're all kind of starting this right here.
So many cameos in that Secret Wars. I'm waiting for them all. I think that's really where they're going to just like let them all out.
We are getting another villain in this movie, MODOK, and we got to see a few shots of him in the last trailer.
He looks funny.
And they were funny.
Yeah, no,
we were
I
all just like,
it.
Look at this motherfucker.
Look at this fucking goober.
Look at this asshole.
Stretchy face fuck. I appreciate that they committed to it because I saw the robotic face and I was very disappointed. And then they went for it. Good.
Yeah, and I'm like, okay. But it's like, okay, robot face, bad, but also like, I guess, spoilers, it looks like it's
like his cover.
Yellow Jacket.
It's him. It is. Yeah, it is. They confirmed that already, I think.
Okay. What's his name again?
Ross. I can't remember.
No.
Something. Blah, blah, blah. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, and I'm just like, okay, like, is it just like a goofy, big, stretched face? Like,
it kind of looks like it was almost on a TV screen. I couldn't tell. Like,
I mean, it looks like Mr. Electric from Shark Roy Lava.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. But like, that's exactly what it looks like. So I'm interested to see like this is not MODOK in the comics. MODOK stands for Mechanized Organism Designed Only for Killing. And he is George Tarleton in the comics. He's the creator of AIM, Advanced Idea Mechanics, and in the
Darren Cross. I know
Darren Cross. Yeah. So in this universe, in the MCU, it's Aldrich Killian who invents AIM.
Yeah,
and he's Extremis instead. And we're looking at a little bit of what?
And I'm forgetting his name.
Oh, the Mandarin.
Technically the Mandarin.
Yeah. So we're looking at a little bit of a twist here. So I'm interested to see what the hell MODOK has anything to do with this. Or what's most likely going to happen, he's probably just going to be kind of throwaway.
I'm hopeful. Yeah, I'm excited. I think, like I said, the director, he's done a great job. And one of the funniest ever MCU scenes, in my opinion, is the scene from Ant-Man 2 when he's going through the school as like child size. And it's so I don't know.
I remember watching that,
and I was like
saying
actually
that after.
dying laughing. It's one of the funniest scenes, and I just love how they were sitting there probably thinking, they're like, well, we've seen him super big and we've seen him super small. What if he's like child size? Like,
somewhere in the middle.
Like he's just it's so funny.
Speaking of our titular hero, you think he's gonna die? Because I do.
I think there's an absolute chance.
I hope he dies.
I wouldn't bet on it, but do I think that there's a good chance? Yeah, absolutely.
I think Ant-Man's death will tee off some things, and I think that's why he has to die.
That makes sense.
That trailer was really leaning towards some doom and gloom
For
stuff.
sure.
And
Yeah, I think it all depends on what Paul Rudd wants to do. Genuinely, I think if he wants to keep going, I think they'll keep him on, without a doubt. But
you really don't think they would just make the executive decision to write him out?
maybe no, I think it's absolutely possible. But I don't know. I could see them also just being like, "Hey, Paul, do you want to stay or do you want to go?" And then
Well, we want you to go. It's time, Paul.
Yeah, you gotta go.
You're done.
See ya. Get the fuck out.
Yeah, Kevin reels out his can, pulls
Just
them off.
pulls them up, yeah. All right, can't wait. Actually, I'm excited for that one.
And then the only other thing is like we have the introduction of Stature.
Yeah.
And the movie seems to be
Is
focusing.
Stature his daughter?
Yes.
What a stupid name.
Well, we don't know if that's actually her name.
Yeah.
We're just assuming it is, or it could be like.
Why
Ant
can't it be
Girl.
Ant?
I don't know.
Why not Ant Woman Gooch?
Because that's a Wasp.
Well, no, she's the Wasp woman. Actually, no, she's just the Wasp.
But the movie seems to be centering around the fact that Scott Lang has missed this time with Cassie, and he wants to get it back.
And that's reasonable.
Yeah, I like the character motivation is there.
It's a good linchpin.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so we're teeing right off of that. And anything you want to see from Wasp, because she's the other. Like, if she doesn't die, like she's still around.
No, I don't. I like Evangeline Lilly. I thought she was great in the first one.
And same with Janet Van Dyne and Hank Pym. Like, what's their
I don't know.
features looking like?
I really don't know. I could see them being killed, but I can't see them killing like all of them. So that would be very depressing.
Dude, imagine if
like everyone died besides
Cassie and
like Janet or like that's or not Janet.
Hope.
Yeah, Hope
left, and they all of them die. Wow. But see, like I think that's what you have to do to get the point across that Kang's a bad guy, and you have it in your brain that this guy has already killed like 3 main characters in the MCU.
I think you
because that's something Thanos like didn't do until Infinity War.
And then it gets reversed too.
Yeah, and
it's like,
that doesn't even matter.
I
with
think
Loki.
You can kind of accomplish that by just killing Scott. But yeah, if you really want to stamp that home, kill all of them. Who cares?
I'm really looking forward to Quantumania.
Absolutely,
looking
same
forward to our hot take. So next up, we don't have a date for this. We have one trailer, Secret Invasion. It's going to be a TV. There's a movie. No, it's a show.
Disney Plus show, I think.
Yeah, it's a Disney Plus show. Spring 2023, so that's not too far away.
No.
For those who don't know, Secret Invasion will focus on the invasion of Earth by a rogue group of Skrulls and is set during the blip. Not sure if I knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so which is good because I think we need more context to that
what's
time
going on in there.
and to what was going on. So our returning characters: Fury, Maria Hill, Talos, Rhodey, Everett Ross. We have some new characters. Olivia Colman is playing Special Agent Sonia Falsworth, a descendant of James Falsworth, who is a Howling Commando in The First Soldier.
Sweet.
The OA's Kingsley Ben-Adir is playing a rebel Skrull leader named Gravik, likely to be the main villain. And Amelia Clark is expected to be playing a sword agent named Abigail Brand. And that is her. She's like a superhero, but like has no alias. Like her name is Abigail Brand.
Okay.
So yeah, what do you think about Secret Invasion, Trio?
Could be interesting. I know that's a very well-renowned comic line,
Right.
Right.
It's that,
it
it's
seems
that
similar
classic,
idea,
it's
right?
that what's his name?
Isn't that where Spider-Man gets the symbiote suit? Secret Wars? Because they're out in space. They go out in space.
but symbiote was like much before that.
Was it? I thought he
Secret
gets it.
Wars is like a
or maybe
new-
that's Battle. I can't remember. I'm getting them mixed up. Anyways,
Battle World.
Battle World, but no, that's DC, isn't it? Battle World.
No, I think
I'm curious now.
no, I think Battle World is
Or is War World?
It's
War
Battle World and War World. War World is DC. What were you just?
No, I don't. I was just thinking.
just talking about?
We were talking about Secret Wars. I think this looks
the classic cover from Alex Ross of like they're all Skrulls. It's like the hero lineup, and instead of like being they're humans, like they're all Skrulls. That's what I was talking
Gotcha.
about. With the Secret Invasion stuff.
I see. Okay, yeah. Right. That makes more sense. All right. Yeah, no, I think it could be good. I mean, hey, Samuel L. Jackson, he's usually great in whatever he's in. I don't necessarily I'm not longing to know what's going on during this time period. I don't really necessarily I'm not itching, but it could be cool. It could be very interesting. And, if they lean into the more espionage style that, Winter Soldier was especially, I think you could do something special.
Yeah, I just want some answers. I think from every show, it's kind of all right, what happened to S.H.I.E.L.D., what's going on? My age-old questions is Winter Soldier.
Just that's what you just had written down. You just want them answered, yeah.
Yeah, what's going on with S.H.I.E.L.D.? I just want to know. Yeah, I'm looking forward to where we'll have less Disney Plus shows, honestly. I'll just put that.
And they seem to be moving away from that with Iger being back. So
yeah, and that's what I was going to say. It's I'm looking forward to where maybe we have one or two shows.
That's the thing. Just a balance.
And I will admit, I do like how pretty much every show we've gotten besides Loki has been a one-season thing. We don't know if Moon Knight's coming back for season 2 yet.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it's all confirmed yet.
Oh, well, it's for sure. I mean, I think it's definitely going to happen. You're right. I don't think it's officially confirmed.
Yeah, right. It's not officially confirmed.
For sure going to happen. I would.
We will see Moon Knight again. Absolutely.
I will cut this pinky off if we don't see Moon Knight again in his own something. I'm kidding. I won't do that. Yeah, I don't know. There are definitely some shows for sure during this time where I was movie, and I said them earlier. Moon Knight especially, I think would have been better served as a film.
WandaVision was perfect for a show.
I think Loki was perfect as a
what
show.
It is. Yeah.
Again, but Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think that deserved to be Captain America 4. And then the next one is Captain America 5.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Secret Invasion could be teeing up necessarily, other than just doing Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Maybe the Skrulls connect back in somehow later.
Right.
I'm
what? How do the Skrulls connect back into Captain Marvel or the Fantastic Four? Obviously, Super Skrull is a big Fantastic Four villain. I would love to see Super Skrull. We've never gotten to see Super Skrull from the Fantastic Four.
I feel like you got to save that for the Fantastic Four.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah,
that's
yeah. But now they can set it. Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Them setting up. We know about the Skrulls from Captain Marvel, but now we're getting more of the Skrull stuff. Especially since Thanos, I guess, has caused a what's the word I'm looking for? A fracture in space, and obviously the Nova Corps are no longer a thing. So and the Kree, I don't know what's going on with the Kree.
I'm sure that's how they're gonna set up Ryder, Nova.
Richard Ryder,
I'd hope they'd give us Nova at some point.
Yeah. But setting up there's no law in space. No one's even conquering shit. So the Skrulls,
the Guardians seem to be out there actually trying to keep peace. For sure.
And the Skrulls have finally a chance to get their footing back, and that's why they're doing.
And this does seem to be an evil, because they kind of made a bit of a switch in Captain Marvel to be nicer, but now in this seems to be more evil sect or sinister sect of them. So yeah.
And next up on May 5th, 2023, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, James Gunn's final Marvel project.
It's coup d'etat. No, that's
the final Guardians film. The final movie of this Guardians team. This is a big end
waiting a while for it.
For Guardians, yeah.
I cannot wait. Those trailers have been amazing.
I'm just as excited for Quantumania as I am Volume 3.
I think I'm a tiny bit more. I think it's Guardians 3, Quantumania here.
Again, it looks like somebody's going to die from that trailer. We have a big focus on Rocket in this one, and as well as Half-World, where he's from. And our villain, whatever the fuck his name is, we know him from Peacemaker.
Yeah, played by I can't remember. Yeah. He's great though.
Yeah, he's going to be the High Evolutionary.
He played Myrn, right, in Peacemaker.
Yeah, Myrn. Yeah. I was I don't like.
It's I'm trying to remember the name.
I don't know how to say his name.
Yeah. I mean, it's Guardians. James Gunn knows what he's doing. I'd be blown away if he didn't knock this out of the park.
Right. This is kind of like a shoo-in.
It's we don't
really need to discuss if it's going to be good.
No one's going in and being like, James, maybe you should change. He's making the movie he wants to make.
I think this I hope this is better than Volume 1. I know it's going to be better than Volume 2.
Did you not like Volume 2? I love both of those movies.
I think I find Volume 2 a bit overrated. I don't like everything about it. I don't think it's as good as it could be. I'm trying to think of what James Gunn was talking about.
I thoroughly enjoy those first two, to be honest.
Because I know he said Guardians 1 was about he said they were about something, and then he said Volume 3 was about Rocket's specifically.
Amazing. Yeah. He wanted to.
Yeah, and I'm interested to see like who's gonna die, and how Adam Warlock is going to figure all into it.
He looks great too.
And then I mean, yeah, absolutely. Another actor, I'm blanking on his name.
Will
Poulter.
Will Poulter.
Yeah,
He was in Little Hope too. He was good in that.
yeah, he was. Adam Warlock is definitely here to stay. He's not the one who's gonna die.
No,
obviously. For sure. Adam Warlock is a big cosmic character. So
Very powerful too, right?
yeah. So we're definitely going to see him come back. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, like, obviously probably not the whole Guardians of the Galaxy team is going to die. If anyone, it seems like Drax is going to go because we
Drax is
know
up there.
Batista's never coming
I wouldn't
back.
be surprised if Peter died at all.
Yeah, or like Gamora is another character that I'm
I
just
feel like you can't kill her again.
Yeah,
Like, she has to
you
be
can't.
separated out into somewhere somehow. Like, because I don't think Zoe
Saldana.
is hanging around, but who knows?
Yeah, I have literally questions for every character because I think you can kill pretty much every one of them off, but like somebody has to live. Like there's no way. Like
I would
all
like
of
to
them
see
are gonna
Rocket
die.
get a happy ending. We'll see.
Yeah.
What's up next?
Next up, we have The Marvels, which is July 28th, 2023. This is a movie
I can't even snore. That was
featuring
trash.
Captain Marvel, Spectre, and Miss Marvel. We don't really know much about this. Nia DaCosta is directing, and she is going to be the first MCU black director. She did the remake of Candyman last year.
Ugh,
Yeah, not a good
sign.
Marvel really likes to give their movies to rogue no
People
name
they
directors.
it's people they can control. It's people they can just tell make the movie this way, and they're
Right.
like, okay.
So
Yeah.
from that perspective, I don't know how I feel about the Marvels.
She's not the first black female director. Ryan Coogler was the first black director.
Sorry, yeah, black female. Yeah. We,
At least I think he was. I guess there wasn't any before him.
yeah, I would assume probably not. Anyway. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Marvels.
I don't care.
You know who surprisingly I like the most out of this lineup?
Who?
Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, I like
Because
this.
she gets a lot of room to breathe in WandaVision. I think
No,
you
you're
really
right.
get to know her.
I think so too. And I mean, I didn't love Ms. Marvel, but I thought what's her name as Ms. Marvel was very engaging and fun. I liked her a lot. Yeah. I thought she was great.
Yeah, and I just don't I don't care about Miss Marvel yet. Is really the issue. And I just have an issue with Brie Larson as Captain Marvel at
I
this
agree.
point.
She's just
a
not
fucking
helping.
bitch. I'll flat out say it. She
No,
cut-
truly, that interview that we sent was truly the worst part of just like this guy's asking
dude,
you.
the recent interview of her being like, "Oh, like,
Does anyone even want me back? See, the guy goes.
I think she's done. I
Maybe
think
she
she
is.
realizes that her character wasn't well received, and she doesn't like the
it's
fact
funny.
that her character wasn't well received.
I know there's a weird contingent of the internet out there that really loves to hang on to her and like shit on her, and I get that. That's kind of weird, but she had a major case of foot and mouth syndrome with the first Captain Marvel, with talking about like how she doesn't care who likes this movie. It's only made for a certain crowd. She just doesn't help herself. Like this guy just asked
she
her.
doesn't.
Hey, how long do you think you'll stay as Captain? Or like, when do you think you'll be back as Captain Marvel? Blah, blah. And she's like, I don't know. Does anyone even want me back? And
Right.
the dude's just like on the red carpet, just asking her a question for
Right, you think she would be like, "Oh yeah, the Marvels is coming up, and I've
Like,
been
just
having a
make
great
this dude
time
feel uncomfortable
working with
and then just
Amon
shit on the-
Villani, and I don't know who plays Monica Rambeau, that actress, but like, you think like that's the answer he was looking for.
not just like, I don't know. Does anyone even care? Like,
Because
all
this
right,
is
well.
this is for lack of better terms, Captain Marvel 2.
Absolutely, yeah.
And
And I
obviously,
think the fact that it isn't standalone kind of shows you something too. Yeah.
yeah, Captain Marvel, I think is probably one of the worst received MCU movies out there, besides like Dark World.
Which I think is a little it's
And
not
I
that
was
bad,
so
but it's not good. Like,
pumped for Captain Marvel, and it was such a letdown.
it was just so Like I can't even like. It wasn't like offensively bad in my opinion.
No, it's
it was
definitely
just
not.
like it was there.
Yeah, and the only thing we have to go off of for the Marvels is the
They're
post credit
switching, and
of
don't they
Ms.
have?
Marvel.
There's a description, right? They're like, I thought I saw a description out there like it's a movie about them constantly switching places. Like they keep switching.
I
because of
saw
that thing.
something about that, and I was just like, "Are we sure?"
It seemed like an official thing, but I don't know. I mean, I'll probably see it. You know what's here, so I mean, I actually will. I definitely will see it. I'd be surprised if I didn't. But yeah.
Yeah, I just hope Brie Larson kind of.
Genuinely, she just was like acted
be
like
better about
like a normal like
person.
a genuine person. Like, just don't, like, I don't know, just don't be an asshole.
She seems butthurt about some shit.
Well, I think she really, again, I think she
seems a
got
little
very
bit-
butthurt like after the whole thing. She got, like I said, a big case of foot and mouth syndrome. She said some stupid stuff.
And then her part in Endgame was not. It was nothing. Kevin Feige, Captain Marvel's going to play a really big role in Endgame.
Dude, she was too powerful, so she couldn't be there the whole time, or else she would have just beaten up Thanos immediately. That was the problem. They retroactively made her like the first Avenger, and then like the most like one of the most powerful characters. Like, I don't get why she's more powerful than Thor, because that's what that scene says to me. Because
we don't have the context for it.
we don't, like, so I don't know. Again, we just went on a tangent. Again, I will say there is a weird tangent of people out there on the internet that really like to get hung up on her. I don't care. Do what you want to do. She just did not make me feel welcome to watch these movies.
Next up, we have Echo, which is coming out in the summer of 2023. This is going to be a continuation of Hawkeye.
And the Daredevil show, is he in it, right? Is
Murdoch and Kingpin are set to appear in this. And the only other thing I could find about it was there's some Native American people involved in the creative side of it, which I was like, okay.
Again, this felt like, and it's fine, but this feels like one of those things where it's like, how can we get representation in here as much as possible?
A deaf person and a Native American.
That's fine.
2 in 1,
I really
baby.
don't mind, but like it does feel like
Check
the
'em
show
off.
is being, that's one of the main drivers.
I couldn't give a shit about Echo.
No one knows who she is. And hey, no one really cared a lot about Iron Man before he
And
was
nobody
a movie.
cared a lot about Peacemaker either. So we can be proved
anything
wrong.
can work, anything can be good, and I'm not going to shit on it outright because of that. But let's not.
I feel like the inclusion of Daredevil and Kingpin are kind of like
Watch it.
Right. We need to.
Yes, absolutely.
Here's the $1, in that commercial. What is it?
It's not even. It's just here.
You gotta get it.
Do you want to? Hey, do you want to watch Echo? Not really. Do you want to watch Echo with Daredevil?
I think the showrunners and the creatives on this show have a really challenging task of like, how do you make a show? I mean, I guess I just watched a movie about a deaf person. And Shape of Water, I didn't mind that she was deaf.
Why does she have echo powers if she's deaf? Like, isn't that wouldn't Daredevil have that because he's blind? Because that's how he sees.
Trio? I don't know, man. I don't know about Echo, man. You're asking the wrong dude. Yeah, I'm ready and willing to be won over about why I should give a shit about this character. Is pretty much where I stand.
Agree. Yeah. I didn't hate her in.
And this is a
what
show,
was she
by the
in?
way.
Hawkeye?
Yeah,
Right?
Hawkeye. Yeah.
She wasn't bad. I like the woman, and she's missing a leg too, isn't she? Or an arm?
A leg.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Which again, cool.
3. An Native American, deaf, and paraplegic.
That is what we call
maybe not
a
paraplegic.
cross-sectional
Disabled.
amazing time. I don't even know what I was trying to say.
We're checking off boxes here.
Checking
man.
off all boxes. No, it's fine. But that's great. We'll see. Goose,
Yeah,
what's up, man?
but I guess from just watching The Shape of Water, we just got a deaf person done pretty well in that, and I didn't mind that she wasn't talking or.
No, that's not the issue at all. When
I was watching it, I'm like, how do you do a show around a character like this? And I'm like, sign
language and stuff.
I just saw it.
No, there's ways to do it for sure. I don't even think that's necessarily the issue. It's just more of I don't care about the character.
Loki season 2 is up next. This is also summer of 2023. Obviously a Disney Plus show.
I am a tad fearful for this one.
So we had our first look at D23 2022 behind closed doors. So something of it has been shown. We don't know what it is. I don't know if it leaked or not. I didn't look into that. Why are you fearful of this? You think it would be a shoo-in, right?
The entire creative team is new. The showrunner is different. The person who wrote it is different.
Do we know why?
I don't think it was anything. I think they just left. I think they just wanted to kind of move on. I don't know if it was anything kind of bad or like they parted separately in a bad way. But yeah, it's different creative team, different showrunner. I'm pretty confident. Fact check me here. Comment down if I'm wrong.
You got time to be wrong.
Yeah. So, but I don't know. Listen. That first season I think is my favorite Disney Plus thing they've done.
Yeah.
So I'm excited. And Tom Hiddleston is great. He really is. I love him.
What do you think this season 2 is going to do? And do you think it's going to be the end of the Loki show?
For the latter, I hope. Because I would like.
I didn't even want the show to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, I agree. For a show that didn't need to exist and probably shouldn't have existed, it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, it turned out pretty well. Yeah.
But I agree with you 100%. I don't know. It's obviously about the TVA still. It's obviously about the time variance stuff. Maybe he takes over the TVA.
So I have a rumbling suspicion and backed up with evidence that this will be, our second introduction into Kang. Kang will be in this again.
Interesting.
But not as obviously He Who Remains. It'll be Kang controlling the TVA, and
Oh yeah, because he's
Ravonna-
running it at the end of the last one. Right, I forgot about that. I need to rewatch.
Yeah. So I really do think we're gonna get like more Kang stuff, and we're gonna see
Owen
like
Wilson's back. Love it.
we're gonna see a different perspective. And Ravonna Renslayer knew something about who she was working for. Like she knew stuff that she wasn't telling us in that show. I don't know if you remember that
Slightly.
Yeah, that she was like getting orders from somebody.
Oh yes.
So yeah, we'll see.
Well, because they knew the people, the Celestials or whatever they were called, weren't real, right? She knew, or did she not know that?
The timekeepers.
Did she
I think
know
she
that?
did.
I couldn't remember. Okay.
Because she's not getting her orders from them.
Yeah, but no, I thought she did. I thought at the beginning she did think they were real until he cut their heads off, and then but maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Curious. I'm excited. I am. I really am.
What's important here is the Kang of it and what we'll find out about the multiversal war. Because clearly we're now in another cycle of the multiversal war. It's going to happen again. Next up, a little bit of a troubled one. Blade. November 3rd, 2023.
That was supposed to start filming months ago.
That
right?
date might change. There was a lot.
I think it absolutely is. I don't think they've even started filming yet.
We have a lot of behind-the-scenes drama, which we're talking about. The original director, Basim Tariq, was fired, supposedly for creative differences, but he apparently, for the press, left. And I think we were talking about it when it was happening.
He
on
got
Discord.
to say I'm leaving, but he was really let go.
Right, and I think he was leading Blade in a much different direction, doing more of like a not like a black empowerment thing, but like he was like kind of putting Blade into this like
really that was
representation role that like the character is not. Like
interesting. I didn't know. I thought it was something about. I thought I read something about he wanted to go a lot more horror than they were willing to go, or something like that.
I thought it was like the like obviously like because it's a black character.
Sure.
So they wanted to like kind of do like I guess like a Black Panther-ish type of thing with Blade.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I got
dude, that ain't Blade, man. Blade just wants to kill fucking vampires.
I should have said this in what we were playing, and watching, but I watched half an hour or 45 minutes of You People on Netflix. I wanted to blow my fucking brains out. It was just insane. It's Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill, and it's about like a white, it's a white guy marrying into a black guy, like a black family, and like the dad's like it blew me away with how insane it was. But sorry to go back to this.
So the new director is Jan Demange, and he did Lovecraft County, which was weirdly canceled and did pretty well on HBO. Trio, what are you looking for from Blade? Honestly,
interesting.
Got Mahershala
based
Ali.
off of what you said, I thought he was gonna be a black man. I didn't know the director that was fired. Basim Tariq. I don't know. I didn't realize that you said his name. I missed it. It's been an honor working with these folks. I'm just curious if it says something. That's very interesting.
I couldn't find like the drama. I found like the statement that he made, but I'm like, where was it that we were talking about it that he was like writing Blade into like something like totally not Blade?
Maybe that's what I can't. Yeah, I think you're right. Either way, I want them to commit to the Gothic style for sure. A bit more Gothic heavy theme wise, but keeping it modern. Those old movies are very good.
I was gonna bring up. I'm like,
much better than you would expect going back to them for like a 2000 movie.
What from any of the Wesley Snipes Blades would you want to like come over?
I think it had bullet time in it too, like right before or maybe it was right after the Matrix. I can't remember. Or it was like filmed during that time. I think it could be really cool. Mahershala Ali is a great actor.
We've seen his voice.
We've seen his voice. This whole more Whitman. Horror side of the MCU is something we haven't dipped our toes into too much. I mean, we obviously saw it with Werewolf by Night.
Multiverse of Madness.
Multiverse of Madness is another one.
So
for sure.
Our foot's planted firmly in the water.
It's half of it for sure, at least. We've got two. Okay. But
anyways,
I
would say the foot's in the water.
Fair enough. Foot's in the water. I want to see them talk about vampires. I want to see them really kind of get into the nitty gritty of that lore and how it works in the MCU. I kind of want them to commit to a little bit more violence, maybe on the level of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, if we can do that. I mean, a vampire's getting a stake through the heart. That should be a little bit more violent than we're expecting.
Yeah, I think I need it to be R. I need to watch Blade slit some throats, you know? And that's what he does. He kills people.
I'm trying to think if
kills
I need it
vampires.
to be R.
I would like it to be R.
I would like it to be
we
R.
We need to breach that.
You can do a
Because
good...
guess what? We're going to get a Deadpool 3.
No, it's true.
And
And
that's
that's R for sure.
Gonna be
There.
R.
That's
So-
true. I
so-
guess it just depends on... Listen, I think if the filmmakers think it's necessary to get their vision through, yes.
Is
that
are the Wesley Snipes Blade R? Or are they
Yes,
PG-13?
I think so.
I mean, come on, that club with all the blood, that has to be R. That's like too much gore to be PG-13.
No, I think you're right. There's just too much going on. Let's see here. Blade 1988. Where's the rating? Why isn't it? Come on. Fucking. Blade movie rating. No, it's giving me
The movie?
the movie rating.
Like the score.
Like, yeah. I assume it would. But
Just Google, like, is Blade rated R? I think that should get you to where you want to go.
it is R.
Yeah. I just,
That makes sense.
you know, this is a movie, not a show. So, yeah, I think I just need that. I need, you know, we got robbed of Venom being R. That needed to be R. We've been down this road trail. I don't want it to happen again.
Yeah.
Let it be R. Let some heads roll. Let some throats slit. Let some blood spew.
I agree. Like, especially with a character like this that is so horror oriented and killing oriented.
people. Yeah, like he's not letting people live. He's killing people. He's killing vampires.
I do think movies can get away with more violence than they allow themselves to in PG-13s sometimes. But yeah, and I think I don't want the regular quippy Marvel. I want if any comedy in the movie to come out of the levity of the situation. Like one of my favorite examples now is in the Batman when he pulls out the thumb drive.
What are you doing?
Well, he's like, he pulls it out, and then he's like, thumb drive. And then and you're like, that's kind of funny. But I want it to be more like that of a tone. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, we're laughing. They're
not. We're just laughing because of the irony. Yeah.
Next up, we have Ironheart, fall 2023. Nothing else.
Yeah, I don't really
but
care,
that.
to be honest.
Riri Williams got the intro in Wakanda Forever, like we talked about, but again, it was forced.
And it
She
just
was
didn't feel like
was
it had the
MacGuffin
connections
character.
to Tony Stark that it should.
I don't think she's going to.
That's what sucks. Like, isn't that a major part in the comics? Like, she works for Tony, right? Or she like goes to MIT. She's an MIT student, and then Tony like handpicks
Finds her. Yeah.
Like, I
And
would
she
like to see some more.
uses an AI of Tony Stark. Like it's
You don't need to go that far, but like
maybe you do. I mean, maybe.
But that's like, because then you bring him back.
Let me bring it back.
I mean?
You don't need to do the AI of Tony Stark. We don't need RDJ
No, but
to come back.
I want her to find like reverence in him a little bit,
Right,
or like
I
to
do
be
too.
inspired by him. That's what it is. I don't know. Overall, I'm like, cool. It should be fun.
Yeah, that suit was a bit too anime.
I was gonna say it did feel like it was right out of an anime.
I don't think Iron Man is an anime-inspired character.
You know what it kind of looked like? The one Spider-Man from Into the Spider-Verse, the spider suit.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm talking about? The woman, or the little girl that's in the spider suit.
Oh no, I was
little
thinking
mech.
of like, I forget what spider suit from the game that's like armor-ish, but it's,
Oh, I know what you're talking about too. Yeah.
yeah. Next up, Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Winter 2023/2024. Again, another series that I'm like, I don't care about Agatha Harkness in this light.
Well, and
I don't need a show about her.
It absolutely came out of the fact that she was so popular in WandaVision too, which is that's one thing I don't like.
annoying.
It's so transparent.
Right.
I agree with that. That
Right.
one I don't really. I'm not very excited for it all.
Like, I would imagine it seems it's going to focus around her being brainwashed
Interesting.
in Westview.
I know they just
because that's where she is. Like, you know,
and like getting out of it. Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
guess.
I don't know.
you know, she's a big character in the comics, especially with the Scarlet Witch and Wanda Maximoff.
I love that actor too. I can't remember her name.
Catherine Hahn.
She's great. She is. So I mean,
she's been in a lot of good stuff recently.
anything can be good. So
And of course, we have a lot to say about this. Daredevil Born Again, spring 2024. Of course, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio are set to return as their titular characters, Daredevil and Kingpin, respectively. Michael Gandolfini is cast in this movie. He is James Gandolfini's son.
right?
Sorry.
No, it's okay. I just wanna make sure.
So there was thoughts that he was going to play a young Kingpin or something like that. And he
makes
is
sense.
obviously James Gandolfini's son, Sopranos fame.
Yeah.
This is going to be 18 episodes long. I love to see that. And I think that was one of the
Really?
appeals.
I'm so afraid. especially if
Because
it's
it's just going to be one season.
Yeah. Okay. That's different. If it truly is,
There's
just
no
one,
way it's going to be more than that.
All right.
I would think so.
I just don't know. If it's more, that scares the shit out of me.
You're scared of the filler?
I'm scared of the filler. If they're maybe like half-hour shows, like 30 minutes,
Trio,
I'm in on it.
I would kill myself here and now if that were the truth.
I would actually love that. If it was quick, well, not him killing himself, but I would.
I would love.
I would love that. No, I don't know. I wouldn't mind like them exploring with that format a bit more, and yeah, really kind of feeling it out. But man, Charlie Cox is great. Vincent D'Onofrio is great as Kingpin. Only thing I'm afraid of with this is that we're going to be retreading water. And we're going to be going through some of the similar strokes in just different ways. And
so Charlie Cox was kind of talking about it like it is a reboot, but it's not, but it is, but it's not. And I'm just elements. Like, it needs to be a sequel from Daredevil season 3. Like, where we ended.
Yeah. But then it's like, why are you bringing back Kingpin?
And the question is, well, is he going to get, I assume he's going to get resurrected in Echo or be blind. So from that perspective, I would like to see Kingpin take more in the boss in the chair role, and let's get Bullseye back into the fray.
But again, we're just doing this.
I know we did Bullseye. Bullseye.
Yeah.
But like, do actual Bullseye or like, like we did Typhoid Mary and
I feel like they just did such a good job already.
We did Elektra.
Do you want to hear my honest opinion? This should be a movie. Charlie Cox deserves a full feature film. Okay. That is a Daredevil film. That is I didn't know you got 2 hour.
You got down on this a little bit.
Oh, I'm not down on. Oh no, I maybe I'm sounding more down than I intend. I'm not down on it. I'm just more of like, what are we doing? What's the plan here? Why do we have so many episodes? Are they hour long? Is it just a season? That's a different story. I'm much more involved in that aspect. I don't know how you don't retread the same water in a way that's interesting.
We did the Born Again arc.
Exactly. Yeah.
That was season 3.
Yep.
We did the Born Again arc. And Born Again is also taken from Daredevil season 1 is also taken from like the Born Again aesthetics of the suit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I do understand, and I'm interested to see like what villain could we possibly do other than Kingpin.
And I will say I'm so excited for Charlie Cox's. I watched that first season again a little while back. He is so good in that. I can't imagine anyone else in that role. So
yeah. That's
on its face value gets me excited.
Yeah, and then we recently saw him in She-Hulk. We didn't mention that when we've been talking.
We did mention in the review, I think. But
yeah,
I thoroughly enjoyed him in that for sure.
Yeah, it was fun, but obviously I'm looking forward to him getting back to his roots and. But
his roots are a bit more quippy. Like in the comics, he's not as like in Daredevil, like the series, he's a bit more serious than he is in the comics. Even from time to time, he is banging women left and right.
Let me phrase it like this: like in Born Again, like Karen Page is a fucking drug addict and like sells his identity to Kingpin and he ruins his life. Like there's a lot of heavy themes in Daredevil: drug abuse. A lot of crime.
Especially
and like that's something we
stories,
don't have in the MCU. One thing about the MCU to critique it is every hero that is involved in actually street level crime does anything but street level crime. Daredevil stayed in that focus. And I mean, so did all the Netflix shows. It was all street level crime in New York. But that's what Spider-Man does, and he's fighting space aliens now. And like some of there are other characters that I could probably name that I'm having trouble coming up with off the top of my head. But like we need some Marvel characters to stay in a lane, not just graduate from, okay, I fought one villain who was street level and now I'm fighting the aliens in space. Like we need characters to stay on the street level and remain on the street level, because sometimes the crime, the simple aspect of crime is more interesting than the world domination plot.
You know what is my favorite?
The Sopranos is a great show. It's
what still is my favorite MCU villain, I think, period? Michael Keaton.
Vulture.
Absolutely. He's a street level criminal that is just trying to sell weapons, stay under the radar, and make enough money to take care of his family. It's a lot of character.
Yeah.
That is absolutely one of the best examples of how you can create a compelling villain in a superhero genre story, or even in any story out there. Like it's so well executed, and it's not about him destroying New York. You're right. You're spot on with that. I think we need more of that for sure.
Yeah. So hopefully we get it in Daredevil.
Absolutely.
Born Again. 2 more. Captain America: New World Order. This is dated for May 3rd, 2024. Harrison Ford entering the role of Thunderbolt Ross, taking it from William Hurt, who passed away last year.
Mm-hmm.
Much to my dismay.
We have had this discussion, I think.
Not looking forward to that at all. Of course, this will be Anthony Mackie's first Cap movie. Carl Lumbly is returning as Isaiah Bradley for this.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
We're absolutely getting flashbacks, I think.
Yeah,
I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Samuel Stearns returns as the leader from Incredible
Right,
Hulk.
I forgot they announced that. That's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I think New World Order is going to be pretty interesting.
Bucky? Or no, he's in Thunderbolts. Duh.
Yeah.
Okay. No.
Yeah. So, what do you think? I just gave my negative thoughts about Harrison Ford as Ross. What do you think?
I'm fine with that. I think he works completely in that role. But aside from that, I think they could have something interesting here in the way of you have Falcon, who isn't a super soldier. He has his flight. He has the shield.
He's Captain America.
He is Captain America. I'm very curious how they're going to kind of go around that, and that can make for some interesting storytelling. I like that we have a less powerful hero that can make for some inventive ideas of how he has to tackle a situation.
Right. Because it's not super soldier serum Steve
No,
Rogers anymore.
He uses his wings and all that stuff. I think it could be really cool. Leader coming back, I think, is a great pull. I think that works. I'm very curious to see how they work that in. I think we're gonna see Red Hulk in this as the setup for Thunderbolts.
That's the big question, because we don't. We'll talk about Thunderbolts next, but are they really gonna turn Harrison Ford?
I want to see his big red mean mug gooch. I want to see it so bad
into the Red Hulk. I almost just couldn't. The sentence perplexes me. There's no way. I mean,
Mr. Ford, come into this mocap studio, and
they must be giving Harrison Ford a fucking bag, dude.
They brought him into the meeting. They were like, Harrison, how much money do you need to do this? He's like, I don't know. And then they just plopped a sack of gold coins on the table for him. And we're like, what about that? And he's like, yeah, I'll get in some dots. Sure. It's so hilarious.
I'm Thunderbolt Ross. That's what he
if you
said.
ever, there was Mr. Sunday Movies does a very interesting video. Did a very interesting video on the progression of Hulk CGI and how they captured that throughout the years. Worth looking up, and how they did it for the original one with Eric Bana and stuff. It's cool, very cool.
How do you think New World Order is going to tie into Kang, if at all? Because we're in the Kang saga. What does that have to do with it? It's a good question.
I think it's just going to be an after credit scene of some kind that's like, bad things happening. Bad things are happening.
Right.
You got to come, Captain America.
Because what Winter Soldier does is it sets up Civil War. It sets up the disassembling of S.H.I.E.L.D. and how the world is in chaos, and friends.
Well, New World Order is this
now.
big thing, so maybe someone's trying to create a One Earth government or something, and he's got to stop like this. Because I think in a Captain America plot, this should be a Mission Impossible style movie in the way of.
And I almost don't mind it being political.
No, not well. Of course, I mean, dude,
because Captain America, First Avengers is kind of political.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, even the second one, how you can be. Lots of great media is political. It's just about saying it in a smart way and not beating it over my head with it.
Right.
So yeah, I agree.
And I also goes back to the Isaiah Bradley of it, the Patriot, and are we going to see his grandson?
Maybe, yeah.
Be the Patriot?
That would make sense. I think he's going to be in New Avengers or whatever that is. Or
yeah, I was when people were like, "Oh, there he is, the Patriot," I'm like, "Yeah, we're fucking a little early to be calling that out."
And
Let's relax.
hey, listen,
fucking the kid from Iron Man 3 ain't Iron Lad yet. Let's relax.
That's how it used to be. It's let's just put this guy to the side. He has his name. If he's going to come up later, we'll use him, and it makes sense.
We saw the kid from Iron Man 3 at the fucking funeral, but he's still not Iron Lad or whoever he wants to be.
Yeah,
for sure. Whoever Marvel wants him to be.
Whoever that named character is. Right, yeah.
And last, and I think least, Thunderbolts. July 28th, 2024. Of course, again, Thunderbolt Ross, possibly going to be, in Thunderbolts will definitely be the Red Hulk.
Yeah, I'd be surprised.
How could he fucking not? Because guess what, man? This lineup is pathetic.
It's just all super soldiers.
Valentina Allegra DeFontaine as sort of the woman in the
Nick
chair.
Fury,
which
probably,
I'm fine with.
Yeah.
Ghost, who fucking cares? Red Guardian, who fucking cares?
I disagree with that. I really like Red Guardian.
Yelena Belova, I'm fine with. Winter Soldier, interesting. U.S. agent Again, we have a
It's just
Captain
all
America.
it's
Why
all-
do we have two?
There's all super soldiers. It's really what it is.
And
It's all super
Taskmaster.
soldiers and spies.
And Taskmaster.
Yeah. We need more variety on there. We need a dark Iron Man. We need someone
So,
like,
and apparently, Ghost actor reportedly no longer set to return.
and that's fine because
And
no
I'm
one cares.
totally
Yeah, you
fine
can
with
get
that. Nobody
replace
cares
her
about
with,
Ghost
Dude, give
from
me
fucking Antman and the Wasp. Who fucking cares? Get out.
give me the Iron Patriot. Give me someone in that suit. Give me a bad guy in that. And we need a bad Iron Man equivalent of some kind.
We need. I mean, I don't necessarily. We need 1-to-1.
No, exactly. Yeah,
I
for
think
sure.
we just need very interesting
variety.
villains to take this place. And this isn't Dark Avengers. Iron Patriot's Dark Avengers.
True.
Norman
Right,
Osborn
yeah,
is.
that's right. Yeah.
Just to clarify. And obviously, if we get Red Hulk in this, that adds that element to it. But and I'm fine with you, Agent. That makes sense. I'm fine with Yelena Belova. That also makes sense. Winter Soldier. I'm interested to see Bucky go down this villain arc that apparently he's going down.
Is that what it is? What are you talking about?
What else would Thunderbolts be? They're all.
I think he's just. Oh no. Oh well, I don't. I think he's just. I think they just asked him to be on the team. They're like, we
You
need
think
help.
it's gonna be
I
more
think he's
neutral?
going to be the Rick Flag of the Thunderbolts. You know what I
okay.
mean? He's the one good guy on the team that kind of keeps everyone in line a little bit. That's out on the mission.
So I need to go back to the Taskmaster of it. She died in Black Widow, right?
No.
Why? I feel like I've had this conversation like 30 times.
Well, Harvey Weinstein shot her out of the ship, and then she survived on the way down somehow, and I can't remember. She survived after Scarlett Johansson was jumping from flying metal piece to flying metal piece and surviving.
We're sure about that.
Yes, 100%. Because she like kind of has this redemption. She's like, "You're free now, you're free." Because the mind control chip isn't it?
Hold on. We're going to the wiki. Okay, she is alive.
Again, and that's a character. It's just Taskmaster by name only. It's just like, who cares?
Yeah. I would love to see Tony Masters. Okay. Let's see. Having been given the opportunity to build new lives for themselves, the widows took Taskmaster into their care. With Loretta, Loretta must be one of the widows, helping Taskmaster onto her feet and bringing her on board the plane they used to escape. Okay, she did live. Yeah, so I guess it's going to be her returning. I hope she like talks. Because I really like Tony Masters.
Because he's a bit of a smart ass too, usually, right? Yeah.
Tony Masters, ex-SHIELD agent, like has photographic memory, copies all the Avengers moves.
He could be a very cool villain.
He also knew them.
Yeah.
So there's more of like a vendetta when he goes up against these characters, and he's like, yeah, like we like fought alongside together, and I'm just like copying your moves against you. It's good. Yeah, it's a bit like dirty fighting in
absolutely,
a way. Yeah. I again, the character was done so dirty in fucking Black Widow just because of how underutilized she was.
And just like it's just they completely. Again, I'm not gonna sit here and act like Taskmaster is this character that everyone cares about and writes home about, and he's the most integral member of the villainy of the Avengers, but just get it somewhat close to what it is, right? Like, I don't know. It just seemed like a weird choice.
Yeah, and going back to like why I said the least, like the only thing that concerns me about Thunderbolts is the team and the interestingness of it. I think Thunderbolts is an awesome idea to do.
Yeah.
I'm just scared that they're not going to be able to execute it. So that's it for Phase 5. I'm curious,
Overall, I'm pretty excited.
How does Thunderbolts get us to
whatever's next?
Kang or whatever? Like, how does that tee us up? Like, there's a lot of stuff in there that necessarily doesn't directly relate to Kang. Like, Volume 3, Guardians Volume 3 could relate to Kang somehow. Absolutely. Adam Warlock being probably it. Like, going back to Kang. Like, how does the Secret War end up kicking off? And, is something going... Is something like what's the Thunderbolts mission? What's going to be? Who's the New World Order in Captain America?
All in a good time, my young Padawan. All in good time. We will get it. We'll get more info. I assume. I'm trying to think. What's the next big San Diego Comic-Con? Is that mid-year? When does that come up?
That's in July.
Okay, so I assume that's when we'll get our next big announcement, unless they do.
So that was our MCU Phase 5 Gut Check Trio. Is there anything else you have to say before you lead us out? I mean,
no, not really.
Any final thoughts?
I think I've said it all, Gooch. I'm excited for the future. I think Phase 4 had its missteps here and
I
there,
think
but
we have a
overall
good
enjoyed it.
We have a good intro for sure, and I just want to see the with Volume 3 and Quantumania, them finish it out and go through this phase strong, because we still have a lot of questions as we were talking through some stuff about exactly how this is all going to play out. But yeah, I hope they can carry the momentum through this whole phase.
I agree. We shall see, Gooch. Well, thank you all so much if you've been watching with us live on twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network. We very much appreciate your time. You can find this podcast anywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. We're on all the social medias as well, at Delco Nerds on basically everything. We got a Facebook page. We got a Discord channel. All that good stuff will be linked down below. You can join, hang out, and talk to us. We love to have you there. All this information can be found on our website, DelcoNerdNetwork.com. You can even email us, DelcoNerds@gmail.com, with all your comments, questions, or concerns. We'd be happy to get back to you. And if you can drop us a like on our YouTube channel, of course, reviews on podcast services, share us up. It really goes a long way, helps us with the algorithm and all that good jazz. So yeah, always good stuff. But for Gooch, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy, and we will see you next time.